Have you ever made a promise to yourself? This time I'll be disciplined. This time I'll wake up early. This time I'll stop procrastinating. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, you do. Then somehow, without realizing it, you find yourself back where you started, scrolling, delaying, avoiding, wondering what happened. Most people think the answer is simple. You just need more willpower. But what if that's not true? What if the reason you keep struggling isn't because you're weak, but because you're fighting the wrong battle? My name is Grandpa T. Pull up a chair, my friend. Today I want to share a lesson that took many people years, sometimes decades, to learn. A lesson that can quietly change your habits, your productivity, your health, and even the direction of your life. Because the truth is, your environment matters more than your willpower. And once you understand why, you'll stop trying to force yourself to change and start making change inevitable. Imagine a tiny candle trying to survive in the middle of a hurricane. The candle isn't weak. The candle isn't flawed. It's simply in the wrong environment. Yet this is exactly how most people approach self-improvement. They place themselves in environments designed for distraction and temptation, then blame themselves for struggling. They keep junk food in the kitchen and wonder why they eat it. They keep their phones within arm's reach and wonder why they can't focus. They surround themselves with negativity and wonder why motivation disappears. Then they say, I need more discipline. No, the candle doesn't need more courage. It needs shelter from the wind. The environment always wins eventually. You can fight against it for a while. You can resist for a day, maybe even a month. But when exhaustion arrives, your surroundings take over. Because habits are not just products of character. They are products of context. Most people think they are making conscious choices all day, but much of human behavior operates on autopilot. Think about your home. Think about your desk. Think about your phone. Think about the apps you open without thinking. Think about the routes you drive. Think about the people you spend time with. These things quietly shape your decisions, like a landscape shaping a river. A river does not choose its path. It follows the landscape, and people are surprisingly similar. The landscape around you often determines where your energy flows. If distractions are easier to access than meaningful work, you'll drift toward distractions. If comfort is easier than growth, you'll drift toward comfort. Not because you're lazy, but because human beings naturally follow the path of least resistance. And that's exactly what makes environment so powerful. There is a word that quietly controls much of your behavior: friction. A tiny amount of friction can stop an action. A tiny reduction in friction can create a habit. Think about this. If your guitar is hidden in a closet, inside a case, behind several boxes, you'll practice less. If it's sitting beside your favorite chair, you'll practice more. Same person, different environment. If healthy food is prepared and visible, you'll eat better. If junk food is visible and convenient, you'll eat worse. Same person, different environment. Success often isn't about becoming stronger. It's about making good choices easier and making bad choices harder. That's why the people who appear incredibly disciplined often aren't relying on discipline every moment. They've simply designed their environment to support their goals. They've reduced friction where it matters. Let me tell you a secret that nature has known for millions of years. A gardener does not force a seed to grow. The gardener creates the conditions for growth, the soil, the sunlight, the water, the protection. Then nature does the rest. Yet when it comes to our own lives, we try to force ourselves like machines. We criticize ourselves. We pressure ourselves. We shame ourselves, all while ignoring the soil we're planted in. Imagine planting a rose in dry sand, then yelling at it for not blooming. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Yet many people do exactly that to themselves. They place themselves in environments full of distractions, negativity, and temptation, then become frustrated when progress is slow. You are not just the seed. You are also the gardener, and your environment is the soil. Motivation feels powerful, but motivation is like weather. Some days the sky is clear. Other days storms arrive. If your success depends on motivation, your results will always be unpredictable. Environment, however, behaves more like a structure. Structures remain standing even when the weather changes. The person who waits to feel motivated to exercise will exercise occasionally. The person whose workout clothes are ready, gym bag packed, and route planned will exercise consistently. One depends on emotion, the other depends on design, and design almost always beats emotion. If this message is helping you see your habits in a new light, take a moment to support the channel. Leave a like so more people can discover these lessons. Subscribe if you enjoy wisdom about productivity, discipline, purpose, and building a meaningful life. And tell me in the comments, what is one thing in your environment that's helping you grow? Or one thing that's quietly holding you back? I read every comment, and your experiences often help others who are walking the same path. Now let's continue. There is perhaps no greater example of environmental design than the modern smartphone. Think about it. The world's brightest people compete for one thing: your attention. Every notification, every vibration, every recommendation, every endless scroll, designed to reduce friction, one tap, one swipe, one more video, one more minute, one more hour, and before you know it, a day disappears. Time is strange. It leaves your life silently. That's why protecting your environment has become more important than ever, because if you don't design your environment, someone else will. And they may design it for their goals, not yours. So how do we apply this wisdom? Become the architect of your life. If reading matters, leave books where you can see them. If fitness matters, make exercise convenient. If focus matters, remove distractions before work begins. If sleep matters, charge your phone outside your bedroom. If learning matters, surround yourself with people who inspire growth. Ask yourself a simple question: what can I do to make the right choice easier? Then ask, what can I do to make the wrong choice harder? Small changes, massive impact, because every day contains hundreds of tiny decisions, and your environment influences almost all of them. People often underestimate small improvements. They want dramatic transformation, but life rarely changes through one giant decision. More often, life changes through thousands of tiny decisions made consistently. A healthier snack, a cleaner desk, a phone placed in another room, a book placed on a nightstand, a reminder on a wall, a friend who encourages growth. These seem insignificant until months pass, then years pass, and suddenly the person you have become looks very different from the person you once were. The smallest steering adjustment can change the destination of an entire ship. Likewise, a small environmental change can alter the direction of an entire life. There is an image I want you to always remember. Imagine two people rowing identical boats. One rows against the current, the other rows with it. Who reaches the destination first? The stronger rower? Maybe. But eventually, the person moving with the current gains an enormous advantage. Your environment is that current. You can spend your life fighting against it, or you can shape it to carry you toward the future you want. So stop asking, how can I become more disciplined? And start asking, how can I design my environment so discipline becomes easier? Because the goal isn't to win a daily war against yourself. The goal is to build a life where the right actions happen naturally, a life where growth has fewer obstacles, a life where what truly matters becomes the easiest path to follow. Remember, my friend, a flower blooms not because it tries harder than every other flower. It blooms because the conditions allow it. Create those conditions for yourself, and you may be surprised by how much you can grow. Until next time, this is Grandpa T. Take care of yourself, always.